And we're live. Hello, people. Hello, Davis. All right.
Yeah, all good, man. All good. Sorry, everyone. Slightly late. 6 minutes.
6 minutes. We're getting better. We're getting better. An international break, man. It's annoying, isn't it? It's annoying. I think we'll do a bit of a shorter show today because we can do a sort of a review this week and a preview next week. But yeah, it's 3 games into the season. It's annoying, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just like, come on, you could let us enjoy like 5 or 6 games at least before. I mean, well, for some teams, it's come back at a good time. For us, it's probably quite a good time. Other teams would probably prefer to, keep going while they're on a roll. But
yeah, I think it's normally 4 and 4. Like it's normally the 4th game and then the 8th game, which is still annoying. It must be because everything's sort of been knocked back from COVID and stuff that they're doing it slightly earlier. But yeah, it is annoying. Especially, well, from my perspective, going into it with another loss against you and another
boy,
falling further behind.
A little celebratory rattler, eh?
A little rattler, delightful. God, I need to get a win on the board soon now. It's getting a little bit concerning. I'm not going to lie. So 64 points for me, 72 for you. Another strong week for you. You've made a strong start. You had -4. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Am I sharing the screen? Is that showing? Or
no. I'll show it now. Sorry, I was just having a little look. Yeah, there you go.
I just did a minus. Did you do any minus? No, you.
I did wildcard in the end. I wildcarded.
So this was game week 3. Just the 8 points in it, which makes the standings pretty healthy lead now, 35 points.
Yeah, it's still, it's not too worrying. In the grand scheme of things, I haven't made a bad start. I've made more of an average start, and you made a very good start. So yeah,
3 weeks, like 60, 70 points on average. That's good getting, really, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, you've still got your wild card in the bag, which could prove handy, especially kind of waiting until after deadline day. I don't know if you're thinking about using that anytime soon, or
I think now the deadline, like I said, now the transfers are all done and dusted. I'll see what happens with injuries. I'll play it probably towards the end of the break, just so I get an idea of like what players are coming back late, things like that. So there's no rush for me to really. I'm not really chasing any money. Like most of my team are doing all right on the price rises, so I'll just be using it. If I do use it, it'll just be to get the necessary people in there.
I suppose you don't really need to the way things kind of are at the moment. But then whether transfer deadline day is sort of the last sort of few changes that have come in have kind of changed your thinking. I don't know. But yeah, 76 points is 72 with the -4 is still really strong. I think. We'll come on to the teams in a minute. There's one thing in particular that sort of stopped me from kind of matching you this week. But yeah, we started mine last week, so let's have a look at yours.
Cool. So as you said, I took the -4.
What was the average for this week, quickly?
Average was
54.
54, yeah.
So both comfortably above the average, but I mean 22 points above is really strong.
Yeah. I think what was the first kickoff this week? It was
God. Already forgotten about it. Yeah, I noticed you're not wearing your shirt this week. Nah. It was. I think everyone predicted a Man City win, most likely a Man City clean sheet, but not necessarily the amount of goals that went in.
No, I mean, I say we started the game brightly, but I'm literally talking like 5 minutes, and then as soon as we conceded, that was it. It's just we were gone. Defense was all over the shop. Like I brought Smith Rowe in this week, not as you can see, second on the bench. So that's like with a view to fixtures coming up. But even still, it's not looking too great for us at the moment. Bit of a mess, but
I got Smith Rowe in my wildcard team. Obviously, he was benched as well, but I think because he did drop down in price, and because, like you touched on last week, the fixtures coming up are quite good. And he has still been probably the most promising player in those games.
Yeah. I mean, you could argue that like our form, they changed to like 3s and 4s But I think you'll see a different Arsenal, I'm hoping anyway, with the new players and everything after the break.
Yeah, but those home fixtures, especially Norwich, Crystal Palace, Villa, Watford, Newcastle, the next home fixtures. I mean, come on, you got to hope for some sort of return there. But yeah, from a Man City perspective, obviously, you got the solid clean sheet from Diaz. Cancelo would have been the one this week, but obviously there's always the risk of him being rotated. But yeah, from an attacking sense, Torres, man,
we sort of touched on it, didn't we? That 7 mil was he's gone up. I think
he has gone up slightly. I think 0.1 or 0.2. I don't know, but it's a frustrating one because it's one of those where, although I did talk about it a lot, I can admit that I was never actually that close to putting him in. But yeah, it's sort of like I've not missed the boat. He's still cheaper than
it was cared about again, though, wasn't it? This is the thing. Like,
yeah, Morris coming off the bench and getting an assist again.
They said Torres was a standout, but 5 different assisters and 4 scorers.
Yeah, exactly. This is the
thing.
Ago,
that would have been Aguero getting a hat trick, basically, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, Torres and Jesus have proven to be, the last couple of weeks have proven to be good shouts if you had them in. Out of the two, I am tempted to go for Torres because he is that slightly cheaper option compared to like Jota and Greenwood. But with Jota, obviously, there's the news that Firmino is now injured for 4 to 6 weeks. So
that's big news for Jota owners because I think a lot of people started prematurely taking him out because of the lack of minutes. But yeah, ideal for us, really.
Yeah, definitely. I think I was on the verge. I was thinking about it, but now that really has, that's definitely swayed my thinking. And I think with Torres, maybe it's one of those things. It'll get dropped eventually. So probably in the next few weeks.
I mean, it is City, so it doesn't really matter so much. But a couple of trickier ones coming up with them.
Yeah. Cool.
And the next game was Villa. Brentford, I think, Ings got me a cheeky assist, was it?
Yeah, I had him in too. Solid assist. He's returned every game, hasn't he? So, so far so good. But then they got Chelsea away next, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what your thinking is on that. Probably bench or transfer out for me, basically.
I think he's going to be a transfer out as well. But if not, then I think Smith Rowe will be starting for me because he's not going to be involved in internationals. So he'll be starting against Norwich. So I've got the option there for that one. And then Raya got me 3 points. So that was all right.
Yeah, but again, is it now that the fixtures start getting tough?
I think he's got 2 more.
Okay. Okay.
So I might stick with him, but I've got a potential trick up my sleeve with that one, which we'll come on to when we look at the transfers, the deadline day stuff after.
Nice.
Everton, Brighton. I think Calvert. Yeah, he obviously. It seems that he's always like 75%, but I think a lot of people transferred him out because of a supposed toe injury. He started anyway, and got on the.
Quite low selected by still, isn't he? Really?
15%. Yeah, I think he's gone up. What is he now? 8.2. Yeah, 8.2. He must be on 3 as well.
I think. He's he's returned every game. So all those 3 strikers have returned every game. So you can't. It's hard to pick between them at the moment. Obviously, Antonio is the man, but
I wasn't too concerned about if Calvert was injured and not available for that game. I had Duffy first on the bench, so I thought less attacking threat from Everton might actually mean it for Brighton. So I wasn't too concerned, but it worked out well.
Nice. Newcastle Saints. Neither of us got any. Neither of us got any players starting in that game.
Yunusi. I remember seeing that.
True.
True.
But, he's one. Yunusi could be one to keep an eye on. But if he starts playing all the time. But that's. I did as soon as he scored that. I thought, that was from after that League Cup game. He's a man on a mission.
Yeah, that's probably the end of the mission now.
Yeah.
I think did St. Maximin miss a penalty? or something happened with him in that game. He went on. I saw he was on social saying like sorry about something. I think he might have missed.
I'm not sure. It doesn't ring a bell.
Oh, maybe that was in the League Cup I'm thinking of, but
possibly.
He gave the ball away for the equaliser because I know they scored late.
Yeah,
he apologised for something, and the Newcastle fans were kicking off on him on social media. So yeah, I don't know what that was about.
But yeah, typically I took Wilson out and he scored, but in the end it didn't matter because my strikers did all right. But yeah, that was typical.
And then you got a 2-1 win over Norwich.
Yeah, still shows that there aren't really any Leicester assets that are really worth having at the moment. Like, we didn't keep a clean sheet. We didn't play very well, particularly. Vardy got a goal and assist. Albrighton scored, but obviously that's a one in a million. So the only asset really at the moment that is worth it really is Vardy, or potentially Ricardo. He obviously he got an assist and then came off like after all in the space of 8 minutes. Yeah, he got injured in the assist. He got injured. Okay. I think it's not serious though, but yeah. So fair play to him. He still got an assist, but then he came off. So it didn't really pay off his owners this week.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Again. So until you've got your defense, got your injuries back, stay away from Leicester defense for now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that I didn't have any. I don't have that Leicester bias where I have to have one in my team. I just don't think it's. I just don't think it's really worth it at the moment.
Yeah.
Maddison's not on form. Barnes isn't really on form. Like, Vardy's too expensive probably for what he is. I mean, yeah. So, yeah. Well, I'll keep an eye out because if we start playing better, then that might change.
Yeah. And then we both captained Antonio, did we not? Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was second most captain behind Bruno.
I thought that he was.
No, Bruno was quite a bit more actually picked by him. Okay. But I think most of the people who I know playing went for Antonio captain. Yeah.
And there was one point during the game because he didn't get the goal until reasonably, like, it was in the second half on that. It wasn't looking that great at one point, but yeah, goal and assist. And yeah, 7.9. I'm sure he'll be hitting 8 mil, if not 8.1 by the time we come back.
I got him in at 7.7, I think, last week. Yeah, that's all right. Out of the 3 strikers I have, he's definitely the one that is going to stay. Out of those 3, I've got the same 3 strikers, but yeah, he's definitely the one that's going to stay no matter what.
I'm a bit concerned about Cresswell because although he's done really well so far, he's got a goal and an assist. They've conceded quite a few goals, 2, 3, 5 goals in 3 games. So an eye on that.
You think I see what you're saying, but you think when you're getting a return anyway, so then it's like with him you can get either or both. Like so I think if he's still getting involved in goal actions, then that's you could look at that positively as well. But yeah, I see what you're saying. They are conceding.
While he's on form, I'll be keeping him in, but I'm just wary of again, they might be looking for Arsenal glasses are saying put an Arsenal defender in, but someone like Tierney with his fixtures coming up, same price, or maybe more likely like a Chelsea defender like a Reece James. I know he's gone up now. I'm just thinking that he could provide a similar attacking threat, but more clean sheets. But the risk with him is the rotation. So, I'm just keeping an eye on West Ham. I think they're playing really well. It's just I'm a bit worried about the goals, but hopefully that'll. Zuma coming in as well. Hopefully that'll shore things up a bit because they've been playing Dawson and he's not really up to Prem.
He's getting on a bit, isn't he? Yeah, I think Zuma. It's a big upgrade. But yeah, I think it's for Cresswell to get a goal and an assist in the first 3 games, that's it's pretty good. And hopefully, if they do start getting clean sheets, he could have a big week where easily get into double figures.
Yeah, and then the Liverpool Chelsea game, it's just unfortunate there was a sending off because, I'm sure that you watched it as well. It's just the standard was ridiculous. You see how much the other teams that played on that day.
Yeah, it was a great game. Even with 10 men, Chelsea were pretty impressive, to be fair. But obviously, it did alter the game quite a lot. Yeah, like it was a tough one for us, wasn't it? Because Jota came on a lot earlier than expected because of that injury, which was a good thing because he was going to come on, either way essentially. But then, still, even though they went down to 10 men, still didn't manage to get anything.
Yeah, it's that classic case of it's not always easier to play against 10 men.
They defended. They didn't even there was a few chances, but nothing major.
No, they contained it pretty good.
I think Chelsea players, neither of us have them, and they're going to become a necessity pretty soon.
Yeah, I think.
Actually, I do have James now. But yeah,
that'll be a key to if I do a wild card, it'll be because I'm putting in at least one Chelsea player. And then the Sunday games, I don't think I actually saw. I saw a bit of the United game, but Burnley. Did you see any?
Yeah, I watched the Spurs and the United. Spurs not conceding any goals at the moment. Haven't conceded a single goal in their first 3 games.
I think we haven't really spoken. I don't think that I can remember about Spurs' defense options, but there seemed to be quite a few teams that had either Reguilon or Dyer.
I think those are the two. Obviously, they've got a new signing which we'll come on to, but those are the two. Dyer more at risk of dropping out of the team, I'd say probably. Reguilon, obviously the more expensive option, but I did think about him for my wild card. He's a bit cheaper, isn't he? He must have gone up by now, but he was at the 5 mark instead of 5.5, which a lot of my defenders are. So I think he definitely could be a good shout.
Yeah, because he was in and out, wasn't he, under Mourinho? But it seems like he's Nuno's number one left back.
Yeah, exactly. Son, I did consider captaining Son over Antonio. Wouldn't have made a massive difference in the end, but in fact, only 2 points. But good for him to get a goal and free bonus. And I think he's proven his value at that kind of price mark.
Yeah, I think he's gone up 0.1, is he? Yeah. Just a bit of a concern that obviously they've only scored 1 goal in each of those. Games.
The thing is though with Spurs, it's like if you look at the percent, if you had the percentage of goal involvements, if you counted goal and or assist between him and Kane, it must be it's such a high proportion of their goals. So if they are winning 1-0 and he's getting the goal, then at least he's definitely going to be picking up the free bonus as well.
That's it. And the clean sheet as well.
Which, in fact, I think maybe he got 2 bonus, not 3, but the clean sheet as well, get an extra point for that. So I think he's a keeper for me now that I've got him in for sure.
Yeah, I'll be sticking with him for now as well. And then I guess not really much point speaking about Burnley Leeds until we maybe have a little look at the transfers in a minute.
Not too much to say on that, to be fair.
United, they got a bit lucky. They got very lucky, didn't they?
Oh, mate. Don't get me started. I actually haven't moaned to anyone about that foul, but what is going on? Man, it was such a clear foul. The thing is that this is where, you get punished for not play acting, because at the end of the day, if Neves had screamed and gone down, he 100% that would have been given as a foul. But because he stayed on his feet and didn't make a meal out of it, and then they were never going to change it with VAR, to be fair. Right. But when you actually looked at the still, it was not too dissimilar from Perez's, really.
Basically the same thing, wasn't it? Just a late
same over the top of the ball, stud showing on the lower part of the leg. It's not knee height or anything. It's on the lower part of the leg. Okay, he didn't catch him as cleanly. He sort of skimmed. Anyway, that's my little rant about that. And it was lucky. Obviously Greenwood getting the goal just made me even saltier, really.
Oh, yeah, shit, I forgot he got me the goal. Yeah, so has he gone up again, or is he still 7.6? Probably still 7.6. Oh, no, he's gone up again, 7.7. So I'm thinking now, one thing I said at the start of the season I would try not to do is just hold on to players for too long. And although he's in a rich vein of form, with Ronaldo coming in, I am worried about what their plan is with him. Are they going to move him? I know he can play out wide or down the middle, But
it's definitely going to be out wide now, and obviously
less game time. It's just how much less is it going to be?
Yeah, I mean, you've got Ronaldo and Cavani now, so centre forward. So you think that Greenwood is now going to be primarily left wing. Rashford, when he comes back, obviously that's kind of his position. So I'm interested to see what happens with that.
And again,
I've missed the boat on Greenwood as far as I'm concerned. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
But then with Fernandes as well, it's like, is Ronaldo just going to put his usual, like, I'm the man, I'm taking goal kicks, free kicks, penalties, I'm making the subs, I'm doing everything? Does that mean Fernandes is going to suffer? Or, I mean, personally, I think it's good news for sure, because in whipping him into the box with Cavani or Ronaldo in there, it's going to be headers galore.
Yeah, I think we'll have to wait and see. But for me, I am thinking if Bruno's no longer going to be taking pens and free kick, I think he will probably still take free kicks. Pens, I'm not so sure. But also, it depends, because if you're going to get Ronaldo in, it's not really worth having both of them.
No.
And we can both, there's that swap of Bruno for Salah or Bruno for KDB.
KDB is an interesting one, yeah.
Or even, go for a cheaper option like a Torres, and then that gives you the money to get Ronaldo in up front. So yeah, I don't know. Watch this space. I think it's either or for me, but I think a lot of people will probably try and get both in. But I think for me, it's either or, and I'll literally just wait and see what's going on with the set pieces.
Yeah, I saw something earlier. Actually, I think it was on the Fantasy Premier League Twitter page that after Ronaldo missed his penalty against, was it who they played last time? Was it Ireland?
Yeah,
he missed a penalty. 250 managers transferred him out. So they've obviously transferred him in, seen him miss a penalty and transferred him out straight away. I would not. Yeah, that's not really great fantasy football tactics.
No, I think we'll come on to Ronaldo in a bit more detail anyway. But yeah. Disappointing from Bruno though. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. Do you want to take a look at your team?
Yeah, let's have a gander.
And then we'll go on to transfers and stuff. So yeah, 64.
64. So considering you got 76 with the -4, 72, and I got 64. The big one for me, obviously we got a lot of similar players, so I won't spend too long on it. But the big one for me was Kyle Walker, and it was an inherent risk bringing him in instead of Diaz. It was all financial, but. And I knew what the risk was, but when you see him on the starting lineup, then you think you're safe. And then just the circumstances of the game, because Arsenal went down to 10 men and Man City was smashing it, he got pulled off at half time for Zinchenko. Cancelo moved to right back, and it just did me over. And that was the first game of the weekend, so that did not put me in a good mood at all. And like I say, just purely circumstantial, and I just hate Pep. I hate Pep with a passion. But if you add 5 points onto Walker there, which is what he would have got, then we basically would have got the same score. So that is frustrating, but it is what it is. Dan James getting a red card. Obviously, I benched him, but that's a bit annoying because now he's not available for next week, and it's
just one game ban, isn't it?
Yeah, luckily it's just a 1-game ban, so I'm just gonna see it. Also, they've got Villa at home, so not the easiest. But then they've got 2 tough fixtures after that.
Yeah. So what, are you taking him out? Are you?
No, I think I'm just gonna bench him. And the thing is with him, he proved it again because he got another assist before he got sent off.
Yeah.
He's another one like Cresswell, like I'm saying. Like even if they concede, which even against the top teams they might not, but even if they do, he is a real attacking threat. So. I think I'll just keep him, and then they do have those kind of easy fixtures after that. So yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah, not a lot else to say because our team's so similar. Beraheen, Livramento, he had a good effort in that game. He had a decent shot at goal, which was promising. But yeah, he's my 4 mil option. I'm happy with it. I'll stick with it. You've obviously gone Duffy. I know that. Williams at Norwich is another option, but yeah, I'll stick with Livermore. Did he go up? Did you just see that? Has he gone up at all?
I think he was 4.1. Yeah, 4.1. Yeah,
I think I got him in at 4, but I can't remember.
I think you did, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. So that's good.
And Rama's gone up quite a bit as well, hasn't he? I don't know what price he got him at. He's 6.5.
Benrahma, disappointing one for me actually. Do you know what?
A lot of teams have got him. Well, every team.
Yeah, do you know what? I think that influenced my decision making. And obviously, he is around that cheaper price point where there are fewer options. But I feel like that wasn't my heart that went with that decision. It was more my head. It was more the fact that he's in loads of teams. West Ham is smashing everyone. He's and he's a cheaper option, but only got 2, and a bit disappointing. I don't know. I don't know how long I'll keep him for. To be honest, we'll see. But yeah, there's not a lot else to say really for that team.
No.
Same captain decision as you, a lot of the same players. Obviously, that is the thing. Our scores are going to be very similar at this rate. Obviously, if you play a wild card, that might change it a bit. Obviously, I do have a couple of big transfers in mind, which is basically to take out Ings and Calvert-Lewin and replace them with Lukaku and Dennis. My plan's been thwarted a bit because Dennis has gone up another 0.1, and it was literally I didn't have any spare cash to make that move when I did my wild card, so it's actually I actually can't afford that right now. But what I might do is, because of those fixtures that Chelsea do have, I don't think there's a rush to get Lukaku in. So what I might do is maybe bring in a Torres or try or someone slightly cheaper for Benrahma, make that change, and then that will allow me to make that double change up front to bring Lukaku in. It's still Lukaku over Ronaldo for me, to be honest, especially with those fixtures.
Yeah, the thing is, Lukaku I think is undroppable basically, whereas Ronaldo, I'm sure that like the United fans will think that he'll play 40 games in the season, but the reality is that he won't. I don't think. Not with they've got.
I think again, it's like you want to see, but he's so expensive for a striker. And Lukaku's mil cheaper, and he's going to be more of a central figure. I feel like, and like I say, there's Chelsea fixtures that are coming up. So I feel like if I just strategize now to work it out so I can get him in 3 games time. So that just means that I've just got to save some money elsewhere. So Dennis is the likely option as the cheap striker. I might bring Dennis in for Ings this week because Watford have got Wolves at home. They've actually got a couple of decent fixtures, and obviously Ings has got they've got that tough fixture away. So I might do that this week. That's what I'm thinking.
Look at that. 769,000 put Ronaldo in already. As well, though. Not really.
No. I mean, not. No, I think he's going to be on the bench against Newcastle. What do you reckon? I don't know. Do you reckon he'll start straight away?
It would just be typical United, and they'd put him on the bench just so they can bring him on and get I think that would be the sensible thing to do, because if they are not playing as well as the fans are open and they need something like a boost, then him coming off the bench is obviously going to lift the whole place. They're at home, aren't they? Is the next game? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong week.
Yeah, it was at home against Newcastle. So it's Bruno captain for me. Probably we'll discuss this next week anyway. In more detail next week's fixtures. But I think those people who have transferred him in already, they might regret it that first game because he might be on the bench. But I'm not sure. They might throw him straight in. They're probably it's a pretty easy fixture, so they might think fuck it, just get him in there.
I mean, we might end up with egg on our face and he'll score a hat trick, and we're just being salty about United. But I'm not just saying it because I hate United, but Lukaku's 11.5, isn't it? He's a
exactly.
At 12.5 for a striker is just, like I said, I don't like spending that sort of money on anyone over 8 mil really on strikers. So 12.5 is just, I would rather have Salah or keep Fernandez, or like I said, KDB.
Just checking out what Spooner's wrote. He said he's got Firmino. I don't know why you still got. Actually, again, you're unfortunate because he did start, but it got taken off. Replace with a cheaper option immediately, or bench and wait for 2 frees and add Lukaku, Ronaldo, and downgrade slightly in mid at the same time. So basically, so for a start, so the second thing is what I'm doing, which is to downgrade a striker for probably Dennis. The slightly more expensive option is Adam Armstrong, who I think is a good option at Southampton as well. And then upgrade one of my other strikers for, like you say, a Lukaku or a Ronaldo. But yeah, in terms of replacing with a cheaper option immediately, Firmino, he's injured now, so he's only going to go down in price. So what's the point in keeping him this week?
I saw rumours that he was out for like 3 months, but I don't know if that's true or not. But he's out for the foreseeable. So
yeah. So what? There's no need to wait really, because you may as well just get him out for the cheaper option now, and then make sure you've got enough money, maybe with a bit of a buffer in case they go down in price.
Yeah. Calvert-Lewin's still got. I know you're thinking about taking him out.
Because either way, with that option that you're talking about, Spooner, you're going to have to do a -4 at some point. So you might as well transfer out Firmino this week and do the -4 next week, rather than waiting and doing 3 at the same time.
Yeah.
What were you just looking at? Sorry.
Just like in terms of options of who you could take Firmino out. Like I know he wants to downgrade. It's not much of a downgrade for Calvert's. You're not going to be saving that much money, but if he is fit, then he's still got good fixtures. Maybe like a cheaper price point, who could you have a look at? Like you said,
again, it depends, right? Because you can, like I said earlier with the Bruno thing, it's like you can, if you want to save money to get Ronaldo or Lukaku in, you can either downgrade one of your midfielders or one of your strikers. So you could replace Firmino with someone around like a Calvert-Lewin who's around the same price, and then save the money in midfield for Ronaldo or Lukaku. Or it's whether or not you can upgrade Firmino straight to Lukaku and save the money in midfield and do it in 2 transfers. I don't know.
Yeah, that could be an option.
Obviously, you've got like your Damari Grays and your Ben Ramas and those sorts of people who, if you did transfer out, say, you could save quite a bit of money there potentially.
One differential, which could be an option for him. I know Palace have had a poor start. I'm going to check their fixtures now, but they've obviously just got Edouard from Celtic, 6.5. I know he's got goals. Obviously, it's in the Scottish League, but not an ideal really. Tottenham aren't conceding, and then Liverpool. So maybe just put him on the watch list and see how he goes the next few games. So maybe don't put him in for Firmino unless you want to take quite a big risk.
Yeah, I think that. Well, let's come on to that then. So let's. We were just before we came on, just talking about some of the last minute transfers. So that's one, Edouard at 6.5. I think that could be a good striking option at that price. Definitely, but like you said, keep an eye out with those fixtures. Some of the others that we picked out. So striker wise, there's also Rondon at Everton for 6 mil.
Yeah,
you'd expect him to be playing second fiddle to Calvert-Lewin, so probably not recommended. And Richarlison. So I like how they still got him in the Newcastle shirt.
I thought they might do. I'll look at his history because obviously I knew that he'd been in the Prem before. But pretty decent returns for that sort of. But he's not going to get those minutes at Everton. I wouldn't have thought, but obviously Rafa does like him, so.
I think it's one of those. If there's an injury or something, then he could be a good cheap option to get in. But whilst those two are fit, then not recommended. Obviously, Ronaldo we've touched on. I think it's going to be. I think what's good about the Ronaldo transfer from a fantasy perspective is that now there are 4 key premium players, right? And I mean, you could throw Kevin De Bruyne in there as well, but you've got Salah, Fernandes, Lukaku, and Ronaldo. And realistically, you can only have 2 of them. So I think that's good because it will mix things up a bit. There's going to be a lot of variation between teams over the next few weeks because it's hard to pick out those 4. You could go Salah, Lukaku, or you could go any mix of the 4 really, and it's all luck really.
Yeah, it is. I think Salah, Lukaku is probably the ones, if I had the 2 premiums, that I would go for, just because I think that they're the talisman for those teams. Ronaldo, I think United share it around a bit more, the goals.
I think, like you say, with the talisman thing, at the moment it is Bruno, but we need to see whether that's going to change a bit with Ronaldo coming in. But I think Bruno for Salah is a definite option that I'm considering. But then also that means that I probably wouldn't stick with Jota. So I don't know. That Firmino injury has sort of changed my mindset a bit, because while I'm keeping Jota, I don't feel like I need to really get Salah in there.
Yeah, I feel like Ronaldo and Bruno could potentially have like a sane Kane and Son relationship where it's like they're both teeing each other up all the time, especially Bruno teeing up Ronaldo with his crosses and Ronaldo in the air. I'm just thinking, like, did that many people last season have Kane and Son at the same time? I don't think they did. So I wouldn't really think it's a tricky one, because it's like I could see them having a good partnership, especially with the Portuguese like connection as well. But it's a lot of money. You know, you're committing 20% of your whole kitty towards 2 United players is quite a big risk.
Yeah. I've always preferred the idea of having 2 from different teams, like especially if they're both premiums. Yeah, and it just depends. Like, I think, like I say, it's good that he's come in, because rather than just everyone getting Lukaku in their team, which is definitely what was going to happen, now really, I'd be very surprised if anyone goes for Ronaldo and Lukaku and then has no premium midfielders, especially because, like we touched on, the midfielders, you know, have a higher chance of big returns. So yeah, it's good, and yeah, I'll be interested to see who picks who kind of over these next few weeks. But for me, it's not going to be Ronaldo, and let's just hope it takes him a while to get going, because that's going to be worrying whenever United play now.
Yeah, I mean their squad is frightening, really, isn't it? Like, just have a look at it, like it's ridiculous, really.
Obviously everyone highlights the kind of centre mid is still probably where they're probably lacking a bit of quality. They've still got plenty of good players. Like Rashford to come back. Their options on the wing with like Greenwood, like in fact their attacking options, they're almost getting towards Man City territory now, where it's going to be difficult to pick who is necessarily going to play every week.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people would have had Sancho like first name on their team sheet. He's gone down 0.3 already, because
0.3. Wow. I mean, he obviously got his first start. He was pretty underwhelming in that game, but that's interesting, because surely it's only a matter of time until he finds his feet and starts producing.
Yeah. Sorry, one thing I want to check quickly is Foden. When is he back? He's gone down 0.1, 50%. So yeah, he might be back very soon, and he's definitely someone that I think of all the Man City players other than Diaz, I think he's got to the stage now where he is that like David Silva level of like getting towards undroppable. I know that we say there's so much rotation, but I think once he comes back in, I can't see people like, well, I don't know.
I think, I don't know whether Grealish coming in will change that slightly.
Grealish, yeah.
But yeah, so hard to choose from them all, man. Yeah. Like Torres plays up front. That's the only thing that I'm now thinking, basically. And and he's cheap, but like it's difficult with the Foden, Torres again. They're around that kind of 7 to 8 mark, where there's a lot of quality players, and it's hard to pick.
Yeah. Sorry, what other transfers?
So just looking at the list. So obviously Lookman to Leicester as a 6 mil midfielder. I'm happy, because we just needed to get someone. It was deadline day, and we needed another attacking option. And by all accounts, he's 4 goals, 4 assists for Fulham. It's not awful in a relegation team, but
He needs to.
I don't know, man. Like, is he that big of an improvement of what we got? I think he's going to be more direct than like Albrighton or Perez in terms of those options. But yeah, I think 6 mil, it could be decent, but just gonna wait and see. I don't even know if he's gonna definitely be kind of in the starting lineup yet, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I know Barnes hasn't had a good start, but he's only 0.9 more, and with what he's done previously in comparison.
Yeah.
But like exactly. I said, with Leicester, it's a bit of a slowish start. Let's see what happens with them. I mean, your injuries are pretty savage.
I want to see, I want to see Kelechi playing, as well as seeing a bit more of Daka. Daka's only come on in one of the 3 games, which is a bit, it's a bit disappointing. But Kelechi as well, I think after the way he finished last season, he can consider himself very unlucky not to be starting. Yeah. But then if he does, it's that's going to change the dynamic of the Leicester team a lot, and that's why I don't really want to have Barnes or because Rodgers, I don't know, he's going for this. He always goes to 4-2-3-1. It's his preferred formation, but
yeah,
I think for me, we should be playing 2 up front, and so I don't know, I just stay away from Leicester at the moment. That's basically.
There's a few teams like that in it where it's they haven't got a settled, like Arsenal as well, as poor as they've been. Even if we were on form, I think since Arteta's been in charge, he's never had a settled 11. So it's quite hard to. Sometimes you're better off going for players that play every minute for a team that they're not necessarily doing so great, but they might have a good run of fixtures where they can turn things around. With Antonio, he's I know everyone's got him now, but players like that, Calvert-Lewin, Ings, they're all 90-minute men, proven, not proven to be amazing by any stretch of the imagination, but proven to do justice at their price.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. And that's the thing. I am happy with my wild card. I do feel like I've got players that are going to get me solid returns and get those minutes. But I think it's difficult. There's a few different price ranges where it's just very hard to pick between players, and ultimately, it comes down to fixtures and a bit of luck, basically.
Yeah.
Just a couple more. So obviously Dan James to Leeds at 6 mil. I'm not particularly interested. I wonder how that's going to affect Rafinha. I wonder if Rafinha might play a bit more central.
Yeah.
Which could be good in terms of his attacking returns. He's still one that I'm definitely keeping an eye on. James doesn't particularly tempt me, to be fair.
Yeah, I think he's, he works hard and he tries, bless him, but
he's got pace. He's got pace. He's one of those.
Yeah,
I played a friendly on Tuesday, and I said the first half I basically had a Dan James performance. I was looking dangerous. I was playing all right, but every final pass or shot or whatever was just awful. So that's my view on him, basically.
Yeah, Leeds haven't had a good start, have they? And they're just another team to keep an eye on for now, I think. Although I was thinking about who I can take Ings out with, and Bamford got on the score sheet, didn't he, at the weekend?
They've got some good fixtures coming up. That's the thing.
Very good fixtures, yeah.
If only Dallas was still a defender, eh?
Yeah.
That would be ideal.
Yeah, I think Bamford could be an option. He did score a lot of goals.
I never really had him last season, to be fair.
Neither did I.
No, but could be, yeah. And these are not that I'm, no reason to panic, but I'm falling behind. And I think they're the sort of players that if you can get them in just before he hits form, you can really catch people out. And especially if you're behind, you can make some ground on people.
Yeah.
A couple more to run through. So West Ham signed Nicola Vlasic, who used to play for Everton. Is he a midfielder on there?
Oh, yeah, it was Everton. I couldn't remember who it was. Yeah, he's down as a midfielder. Is he 6?
Yeah, 6 mil. So, interesting one. He's quite attacking, isn't he? And did quite well for Croatia at the Euros, I think. So I think Everton are another one of those that they see Calvert-Lewin's the man at the moment, or maybe Luca Digne, but if they started quite well, and if they continue like that, then whereas I've got a Ben Rama, then maybe a Vlasic could end up being a better option.
I know we said that West Ham were conceding a lot of goals, but I'm just seeing Zuma scored 5 last season, which has got to be up there with top scorer for defender last year. So
Interesting. I did not know that. I thought,
No.
I did not know that. Yeah, that is.
He's gone down to before, but reasonably expensive. I mean, Cresswell's better at 5.
Yeah, he's a bit. That's those 5 goals. They should be 5 really max.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit too expensive really.
Yeah.
What about big Tommy Yasu? Like,
oh, Tommy,
TT.
Double T.
Yeah.
I don't really know
4.5.
Never heard of him. Never seen him play other than like a 5-minute video watched on YouTube where he obviously looks sick.
Yeah. I've heard good things. I have heard good things. I'm actually think that could be a really good signing.
He looks to me like, and from what I've read as well, he looks like a Kyle Walker sort of mold, where it's like strong, quick, and like he plays that like inverted right back. So he like when Tierney bombs on, he'll tuck in to make an extra man in midfield, which might not necessarily be great for fantasy. But I'm interested to see. He can play all across the defence, I think, but mainly been used at right back in recent times. So obviously we need a right back. So I'm assuming that's where the thinking is there. But we have got really good fixtures coming up. It's just whether you want to take the risk that, are the players playing for Arteta or not really. I still think, those 2 next fixtures are must wins if Arteta wants to keep his job. And in terms of just what I'm thinking about going forward with transfers, I probably am going to put. I've got Smith Rowe in, but I know our defense has been terrible so far, and this could be a really bad shout. But if I do need to take Raya out, I think I could do a straight swap for Ramsdale because I'm pretty sure he's going to be. Although Leno had a good game again, I say a good game against City, he conceded 5 goals, but it's not exactly his fault. He made some good saves.
I think it's interesting that Tierney's gone down 0.1 because I still think that he's a good option, and that hopefully keeps dropping because I still think he's a good option. And he is a really important player for you going forwards as well as defensively. Justin says, I'm not sure if it's my phone, but your team is very blurry on screen, sadly. I'm sorry about that. Well,
sorry, man.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out the kind of best like mechanics for getting this podcast working. So that is I appreciate that. And we'll have a think at how we can sort that out for next time. He says he agrees with you, Ben. So I don't know. I mean, he must be mad. But I think Ronaldo is overpriced and Bruno should come down in price, but they could be really good together.
Yeah.
But can you get them together in your team? That's the question. And if you do, you can do, but then no Salah, no Lukaku.
Yeah, that's 25 mil spent, or 24.5 mil spent of your 100 mil. So on two out of 15. So.
I mean, it's like you this week. If you doubled up on that United midfield, and at the end of the day, they were bloody lucky to. It's just you need him to. You need him to win big on the regular.
Yeah.
Cheers, Justin. I appreciate that.
Sorry, carry on.
No, I just appreciate you said it. Yeah, you're doing a good job, and Ben is second mine, mate. Don't remind me because. This is my one problem. I'm probably not putting I'm not looking at it as much as I should be because I like looking at it when things are going well and seeing 0 points in our head-to-head league. But won't be for too long. You're too trigger happy. Are you actually a changed man, Davis, or are you at -4 already?
Well, we'll see how many more of these rattlers I get through tonight, and things might change very quickly.
Do you know what I think? I'm thinking if you're in the lead, it's a lot of pressure being in the lead. I was in the lead for most of last season.
Stressful.
It can get to your head. You can make some crazy decisions when you're up there.
I mean, one change I'm thinking I'm pretty certain I'm going to change is Tsimikas out. Obviously, I'm guessing let's just have a quick look at the transfers out. Well, basically my change because I've got 0.3 in the bank. I'm thinking take him out. I have 4.4, and I can get. White probably will be the one I'll put in. Or I quite fancy Gabriel's 5. If Gabriel was 4.5, I'd go for him because he does get his noggin on. He got 2 goals last season, but
what about this? So because we touched on the Spurs defense and the fact that they haven't conceded a goal yet in their 3 games, and none of us have got any Spurs defenders. Yeah, Spooner says never had to deal with being in the lead. Sounds stressful. I mean, it goes both ways. It is a bit stressful, but especially when you see people catching you. But also, it gives you that extra motivation to, you know, plan what you're doing, like banter people because you know you're doing them. Like,
Yeah, you got
so
to make the most while you're at the top because they don't usually last very long. All it takes is someone to get their captain choice right, and you get it wrong basically, and you go down 4 or 5 places.
that's it. There's 30 points between us. That can be ebbed away very quickly. Obviously, it's still very early days, but
Yeah.
personally, I kind of prefer being. I'd say I prefer being up there because I don't know, chasing it. When you see people pulling away, it's just a bit demoralising.
Yeah, there's a few keep me honest in some other leagues. I'm not top in every league I'm in. I'm in second and third in a few.
Right, are you even topping in
No, that's what I mean.
fantasy the fantasy pod league?
I don't
And that's
know.
a shout out. Anyone who watches this needs to, in the description, needs to sign up to our league. We've got 6 in there at the moment, which is a good effort. Yeah, you are. But Dom Manny's doing very well. He's only 9 points behind you. And Frankham, Alan Frankham is on 222. So yeah, it's pretty close still.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that is close.
Yeah, Frankie's doing well. That won't last though. I really doubt that will last.
So if someone joins the league now and they're on 300 points, they'll come in straight on 300. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just whatever they're on. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, sorry, we were just going to touch on that Spurs defender. So we said Dyer and Reguilon were sort of the options that for the time being. Reguilon is 22 points from 2 games is really good from 3 games, really good. Christian Romero, obviously they've just signed, and Emerson Royale. So this is the new right back. All I know is that he's from from Barca. Is it? Yeah.
Yeah,
From
we
Barca.
Yeah.
So that in my mind just makes you think, okay, he's going to be an attacking fullback. I did read today that he kind of has been promised a lot of game time, and I don't think his competition on the right is that strong. So, I think that could be a good one.
I think so because Doherty obviously played for Nuno at Wolves, and Nuno was happy to sell him, even though he was quite a prolific contributor for them. Aurier was just he was all right on his day, but it's few, he was dodgy, wanting to give away a lot of penalties and got bookings and red cards. So yeah, this guy, imagine getting that name on the back of your shirt. Pretty expensive.
They should try and fit it all in on the team when you put them in. One more to look at. The Justin's shouted out. Doxon, Wolves. Do any of the Wolves players tempt you?
Yeah, actually, I was having a look at.
They did look good against United. They did. In fact, we said that the United were lucky. But yeah, I mean, Wolves. There's a crazy stat. They've had something like 60, almost 60 shots a goal in their first 3 games, and they haven't scored.
My thinking with that is that that's just partly, start of the season like they're not quite at it, but also
partly Adama Traore.
Partly and partly some bad luck. Like, I mean, that save that De Gea, that double save that they made from that.
Oh, that was mad. Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm thinking Jimenez 7.4. I mean, a few seasons ago, 2 seasons ago, he would have been in everyone's team. Look at those fixtures. Jesus.
Yeah, that's what Justin was saying. They got a lot of good fixtures coming up.
Good shout. I mean, if you look at his record.
I don't think he's the same player from what I've seen. I don't think he's the same player. Obviously, I watched him against Leicester. I watched the United game, and he just doesn't quite look as sharp to me. I do think Traore, man, like he's starting all the time for them now, right? And under Nuno Santo, he was benched quite a lot, used off the bench. Surely, like he's an absolute monster. He was dominating that United game. If he can just shoot or cross, like. He would be a must-have, an absolute must-have. Let alone the fact he's 6 mil. So it's a risk, and like we've seen is how poor his finishing is. But I think he's a good shout.
I saw. I didn't watch the game, but I was sort of following on flash scores, and Trincão's name was popping up quite a bit.
He should have scored. Well, yeah, he had that shot cleared off the line. Yeah, it lost his killer instinct. That's what I'd say with that type of injury as well. The head injury, he's wearing that headband and he's going for headers and stuff. It just doesn't feel right to me. Like,
yeah,
psychologically, it's got to have an effect. But yeah, for me, I think out of the Wolves options with those fixtures, yeah, Trincão, he did look pretty good. It's Trincão, Traore for me, and then defensively maybe a Semedo.
Yeah, I mean, Neto's a big miss for them, isn't he? Because he was looking like, he could go to a top team. I think he was that good, like the end of last season. But he's obviously got this big knee injury, not expected back till Christmas. So, yeah, Wolves, good fixtures, but yeah, I mean, if you're looking to save, if you really need to make something happen in your team where you need that 0.5 to get the team that you want, then I wouldn't put you off getting Jimenez in place of I wouldn't be taking out either of these two, but with a Watkins coming back, maybe I would consider changing things if I needed the money elsewhere. But
I think in my case, I'd be more tempted to, maybe my Ben Rama, I could go for Traore or Trincão. And I think that it is. I think there's no reason why Traore couldn't return, over those fixtures. And in fact, I like that shout, Justin. That's what I'm actually going to think about, because the thing is as well, Traore's getting slated, right? No one's picking him because he's missing all these chances. What is his percentage picked by? 2%. It's mental for his I feel like that could be one for me to where I could catch some people out. And if he does finally score a couple of goals, he will fly in terms of his price.
I think with him, whenever I've seen him, I thought, fucking hell, he's having a great game. It's usually the opposition's left back is old and slow. So if you've got the time to go through these teams and have a look who plays left back for them, it'd be worth sussing it out, because if they have got old and
those next four, I'm not being funny. Those next four, you couldn't ask for better fixtures than that. It's two promoted teams, and then it's Southampton and Newcastle. You really couldn't ask for better fixtures. So
and even after that, it's all of these 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, over 10 games. I mean, if they're not picking up lots of points from those games, they're going to be in serious trouble, aren't they? They need to really score goals. They didn't bring anyone in, did they, on deadline day? I think that's all their fans kicking off with the owners. Oh wait, Hwang, is he new?
He might be.
He's not the one that there's one, isn't there? I think that plays for Red. No, who's he play for?
I don't think it's him.
Not him, nah. I think he plays for a German team.
No, it is. You're right. Red Bull Leipzig. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen him play a few times. He's all right. So it might be worth putting him on the watch list. 5.5.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, man. All right. Well, anyway, obviously there's no fixtures this weekend. We can have a more we can have a look in more detail. We can have a look in more detail next week's fixtures and our strategy for next week. Cheers
for all the comments. We've had quite a lot of comments tonight.
Yeah, man. Yeah, wow. Justin and Spooner coming in big with we appreciate it. I think it really adds to kind of what we're doing, and we can go back and forth. And actually, I said we were gonna have a shorter show today, but we still got on for an hour standard. Once you get into it, there's just so much to talk about. And that's the other good thing about the comments, is they kind of, they allow us to kind of look at different things that otherwise we might have kind of not thought about.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for joining those who did join live. Thanks for watching those who are coming afterwards. Don't forget to join this league. Justin, I don't think you're in the league that's in the description. Please join it. Anyone else? Let's get some real competition going, and we'll update with what's going on in that each week and have a look at it.
Yeah, man. And then we'll do the next one before the next game week then. Yeah, usual Thursday sort of slot.
Yeah, I'm liking this Thursday slot. Yeah. It gives us time to calm down after if it's been a bad week, and it's closer to the game week as well. So we've probably made our decisions by then. So yeah, we'll stick to that.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, see you next week, man. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah, see you later, everyone.
See you later.